A note ahead of qualifying, I'm not going to be doing the one-shot quality commentating because it is too fast-paced for my very sickly voice currently, so you're just going to have to watch whoever we get on board with. So take this opportunity to ask one more time if the audio is all good. What I can hear personally, the game is a little bit quiet, and I'd like to take this time now to fix that if possible. Good. Pole position goes the way of Fishy as there is a disqualification for Jackie. That looked like a 152 of some form. Didn't quite catch it fully on screen. Indeed, it was a 152.271 going the way of Fishy. Second race for them in this season. Second race for them in the F1 game series of Formula Velocity. Alfie takes second place, 4/10 of a second off pole position. Third place going the way of Broughton, and further 4/10 back from second place. Bayless takes fourth place, fifth going the way of Leslie, teammate Borna Jordy. Both the ART cars looking good. Sixth place for him. Seventh, VNT Rosenquist making series debut. 8th for Joseph Hales, 9th for EGW, 10th for Chamsco, and a DSQ for Jack East puts him in 11th place. Underway for the formation lap after a very short qualifying and a very wet qualifying. It is going to be a reverse top 10. Chamsco was in 10th place after the end of qualifying, and as such will be starting on pole position in the Toyota Gazoo Racing liveried car for the sprint race. Second for this will be going the way of EGW in what I believe will be the Dams car. Didn't have the greatest times at Austria during the first round, however we'll hopefully have a better run this time out. Third place, the very fast driver of Joseph Hales will be looking to make good on his points. He was in for a very good finish in the feature race last week, however did have an unfortunate bit of contact with Fishy, resulting in a DNF on the final lap, or near the end of the race, not the final lap. Fourth place on the grid going the way of VNT Rosenquist, hoping to make a good way up the grid. Missed round one, not much else to note for their. Fifth and sixth, the best looking teams so far on the grid of ART. They're going to be looking to move forward and get a huge haul of points. And of course, they're not going to be moving around anywhere for this race nor for the feature in terms of where their starting position is due to where they qualified. Seventh place, Errol Bayless, another one making a series debut for today. Missed out on Austria. We'll be hoping to take that Invicta McLaren car all the way to the front of the grid. Broughton Another very quick driver. We did see glimpses of greatness in Austria, and he's going to be wanting to take that even further today. Alfie lining up 9th, just missing out on pole position for the feature race by 0.4 of a second, behind Fishy, who is in their rookie season. Looked to be one of the favourites up at the first race. We'll see if that form can continue on for this round, or whether or not it was a one-off fluke. Signs point to it being a very, very good season for them. Jack East at his qualification in qualifying, will see him down in 11th. However, he did at least make it to the track, which places him ahead of Skoda in the Prema, who had a game crash between qualifying, starting, and beforehand. Getting underway. Hopefully these cameras will be better. 5 lights already on. The theme is not pausing for whatever reason. It is lights down, and away we go. I'll take a quick tab out to stop that. Sorry for that. Just fails getting a good start already up to 2nd place. Leslie moving up to 3rd. Big lock up for Champs Go. There's already 3 cars off and into the wall up at the front. Not sure what happened there. 10-second penalty going to way off Rosenquist for a severe collision with Joseph. That's all the way to the back from a good start for him. EGW taking the lead of the race. Already up to 2nd is Jordy, down to 10th though his teammate of Leslie. Pushing out in Sector 1, cars seem to be getting underway again. No issues down there. Jordy up to 1st place. That's another spin for the car of, I think it's Broughton. There's a lot of cars getting stuck back there, particularly was Champs, one of the broken cars at least anyway, getting caught up in that incident. Leslie as well, having another poor run down at the back, moving back up to the, they're going to be 3 wide nearly heading into the next section of corners. Having a look around the inside, and maybe breaking himself just a little bit, is EGW once again not having a very consistent first lap up and down. Speaking of up another position, as Broughton runs a little bit wide throughout the chicane section. Apologies for the quick pause, have to bring up my own track map once again. Bayless on a charge up to the front into 2nd place, having a look, trying to find any way across the road, but spins round, clips Fishy on the way by, and that's another spin on the first lap. I haven't been able to get any of the replays through. 1:45.523 was the fastest standing lap. DRS will be getting enabled after this lap, if I'm not mistaken. This game doesn't tell us, of course, anymore. But it is already a bit of a gap forming between 1st and 2nd and the rest of the grid. Things calming down slightly. We'll pull up one of these replays of Bayless. Having a look, trying to make any of the moves, getting off the corner, just puts the power down too quickly. As we see Fishy having a look to the inside of Jordy, gets the move done on the live cameras. A little bit of side-by-side contact though. It's still going to be side-by-side all the way down through this straight. Fishy having to settle it just further back a little bit. Crossing out in Sector 1 again, this time for Alfie spinning. Having a look too wide, heavy brake zone, inside line for Jordy in the Alpine livery car. Gets the better entrance through the corner and is able to hold that line. Disqualified from session for Alfie, parking in a dangerous location. That is going to be very detrimental for him to get any points. Couple of favourites having a very poor start of the race. Here comes Fishy, having a look to the inside for the final heavy braking zone of the lap. He's side by side with Jordy. He's going to have to go the long way around. Fishy's going to be there. More side by side contact, wheel banging all the way through. Looks to be Fishy coming out better off of the corner, jumping aboard the corner. Jordy, he's going to have a quick run down. 10-second penalty for Champs Go, severe collision with EGW. A lot of penalties of varying degrees coming out of the first lap. 1:40.89 or 8:39 for Broughton on the mediums. And now DRS will be enabled. top three drivers pulling away a little bit. Running wide goes Geordie through turn number 7. Broughton's going to be chasing all the way down. You can see the rear wing open on both of these cars. Roden getting a much better run down the straight, going to be looking to the outside, into the back. Oh, fishy goes Geordie. Doesn't look to be any damage on that car. Ghosting kicks into effect for a moment, allowing an easier pass there for Broughton. And there is a bit of damage on that car. Another retirement for EGW into the corner. That looks to be a number of cars involved with that. Not sure what happened there. Rosen was involved, broken front wing, possibly a bit of a misbraking into turn 11. Safety car not being called out, it is turned on. However, not a large enough incident according to the game standards. Broughton moves up to, or stays in second place ahead of Geordie, still in DRS. Though even with that broken front wing, still taking the fastest lap of 140.7. Broughton out again in sector 3, slow moving car. I think it was Champsco, judging by the map. Into first place goes Broughton. She's not going to let that one go easily though. Right on the back of that car, trying to find any way past. Having a look to the inside, that's brave, and it's going to take a lot to make that one work, especially with how this corner is angled. Broughton's going to get the much better run, but Fishy looks to have defended it perfectly, but will be in the disadvantage now, potentially for DRS. Rear wing comes open for Broughton's car, moving back into first place. Going to have the worst line to the corner, but it's not going to matter too much. Here comes Geordie as well. Having a look to the outside, can he make it stick this time? Gets run out as far as possible. Fishy somehow keeps there. It's going to have the inside line for the next long right-hander. Fishy somehow keeping it ahead of the attacking Alpine livery car. Very good display of driving there from all involved. This time it's going to be Broughton on the defence. He's going to have to hold any line he desires into turn 17. It's going to be the outside. Fishy's not going to be close enough to make a dive just yet. Broughton's going to start feeling that wing damage though any moment, especially if the tyres start wearing down. Taking a look from the rear wing of Broughton's car, you can just see not able to get stopped or turned out easily, but still has good exit speed off the corners. She's going to have a look to the outside line for some of these corners. Not going to be able to make it, backs off just a little bit, stays in single file. A little bit wide there from Geordie in the background, trying to keep up with these two, doing a good job of it so far. But Bayliss will be catching up as well. The more these guys battle up at the front, the more time they're going to be losing. Whether or not it'll be enough with the time remaining in the sprint is a question that we cannot answer just yet. However, it is going to be worthwhile keeping a look at. Interestingly, no DRS open there from Fish until very late. Jack East retiring now from 10th place. Not entirely certain what's going to be going on there. Wide for Fishy into the corner. That's going to be detrimental. Nearly 3 wide through that long right-hander. Fishy's going to get back on the inside. That's going to transfer to the outside for the next couple of corners and loses out the position. Contact as well as Geordie runs into the back of them. Jump on board again to the rear wing. You're going to see Fishy pulls out, doesn't have enough straight line speed, goes back into the wing, but we'll have the DRS assistance. That's going to be a big help coming down to the next corner. We can see that Invicta car in the background now of Bales. To the inside goes Fishy, gets the move done. Can they stick it? Bit of a slide there from Broughton. Caution out in sector 2 at the chicane. Broughton loses first place to Fishy once again and might be under threat now from Geordie. sun glare might be causing a couple of problems for these drivers as well, especially into some of these corners. Depending on how bad it is, they might not be able to see their lines properly through this section. And when all there is visible to Geordie is the rear wing of that Rodin and the big sun glare through that sector, it's very good driving to run into the back of that car. Fishy moving to the middle of the track to defend. Bit of a lock up into the corner though, that could be detrimental to their efforts and especially their tyre wear. Even closer comes Bayliss. He's slowly creeping up to this group. He could be a surprise challenger for the win if he can keep it consistent through this ending stages of the sprint race. 0.4 of a second is the gap between first and second place. That is closing very rapidly. You can see just how much that DRS helps. To the outside line goes Broughton, easily gets that move done temporarily. However, has to move the long way at the final corner. That's going to be very hard to do with that broken front wing. Somehow keeps it there, side by side with Fishy, moving through the final couple of corners. Starting 2 laps to go. It is too early to call where yet another big lock up there for Fishy, jumping forward, having a look down the inside, somehow gets it done, keeps it under control, and gets ahead of Broughton. These two are still going to be side by side. At this rate, they're going to be spending lap after lap in the main race with both cars in perfect condition. It is looking to be very exciting later on. Yellow flag out once again. That looks to be for the car of Rosenquist at turn 17. Here comes Broughton once again, a lot closer this time, and the DRS easily going to be making up to first place. Geordie might be having to make it to second. He'll have to go the outside. A little bit of a lock-up, a little bit of a late braking. Has to get out of it slightly. Running off the track, conceding that place to Fishy. Hard into the wall and breaking off the front wing end plate goes Geordie. Also into the wall a little bit there was Bayliss. He's not going to be close enough this time by to get DRS. He might be there next lap though, especially if he's continue battling the way they have been. He's going to have 1 lap to try and get onto the podium positions. Here comes Fishy. The inside hails 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. One final lap to go. Fishy starts the final lap. Broughton already having looked at the inside, trying to make another move similar to what Fishy done. Doesn't have the braking ability to get it on, but Fishy loses the rear end of that car, slides just a little bit, keeps under control there, and stays in first place. Broughton's going to be careful of that car behind him as well. He doesn't really want to lose second place if he can help it. Might even be turning into losing third as well. Caution flag temporarily out in Sector 3. This has now become a 4-car battle. Inside of a second window is Bales just about. He's going to get DRS this time as well. And I think Broughton might have just been outside of it. Second, separating first and second. I don't see the rear wing of that Rodin open. It is not. Fishy momentarily broke the DRS, but big lockup as well. That's going to be a huge lockup. Lewis at the position. Broughton has to win as well. That's going to promote Geordie to lead up to second, and even up to first place goes Bayliss. In a matter of a quarter, into the wall already. From fourth up to first and then falling down to second. Has a half broken front wing. He's going to have just another sector, and there's the wall again, taking out Broughton this time. Broken front wing for those two. That's going to be an easy win this time now for Fishy and Geordie. And it all kicked off in the final couple of corners. We'll take a look and see how much of that we caught on the replay. Lockup of Fishy was missed, and then these two just get into each other and into the wall. Rejoin. What I can see, Bayliss tries to make the corner, then gets caught up on Broughton. And those two get put into the wall once again. Fishy will take the win of the sprint race. Second going the way of Geordie. Third, with a broken front wing, is going to be Bayless. Fourth, somehow, is Leslie. Broughton, after fighting so hard for the win, has to settle for fifth after that contact with the Invicta car. Sixth place going the way of Joseph Hales. Seventh place, on track at least, will be going the way of Champsco, but that 10-second penalty will demote him down to 8th place. Meaning Skoda will take 7th, and the last of the running cars, also with a broken front wing, will be Rosenquist, finishing down in 9th. Jack East, EGW, and Alfie are non-finishers, one of which being a disqualification. We'll head to a temporary intermission. Driver of the day given to Fishy by the game. However, we will be able to vote on that later on. Lifting the trophy in the sprint race for Trident is going to be Fishy. Second place going the way of the ART of Borna Jordi. Third place, an unlikely one at that, after a very good drive from a number of seconds back, is going to be Bayless. However, I'd be very surprised if there are no inquiries about that afterwards. Results of the weekend so far is favouring Fishy. At least we're also shown the results screen this time round. Remember back to last week, it gave us a 30-second black screen before only flashing this for a moment. Fastest lap in the race going the way of Broughton with a 140.710. Meaning he will get the extra point. Moving on to the feature race. Fishy will line up on pole position and second place going the way of Alfie. He's going to be looking for a big redemption this time round. Disqualification in the sprint race due to an incident apparently that we did not catch on camera. Third place is Broughton. He's going to hope for a bit better luck this time round. Was fighting for the win in the sprint, however this time hopefully he'll be able to carry it through all the way to the end. Bayless involved in a little bit of contact controversy with both Borna Jordi and with Broughton. Did finish up on the podium on track during the sprint, however, whether or not he keeps that due to any steward inquiries, we're going to have to wait and see till the night's racing is over. 5th and 6th, the ART cars are going to be starting. Leslie ahead of Jordi. Both of these two quite quick and quite consistent. They're going to be wanting to take a big haul of points for their team. 7th place going the way of VNT Rosenquist in the Van Amersfoort racing car. Didn't manage to score any points during the sprint, finishing down in 9th place just outside of the points. Let's see whether or not this time they will have any better luck going their way. Speaking of better luck as well, Joseph Hales down in 8th place. He is going to be hoping for a better start to this race than he got last time round. Involved in a starting incident that we did catch, however, not 100% certain on what caused that one just yet. We'll have to take a look at the replay later on, as the ART cars managed to get disqualified by hitting each other. That's going to be detrimental to their starting efforts. EGW down in 9th place for the Rams car. Bit of accusation going on in the driver's channel about this driver. Whether or not it has any substance or not, we have yet to see. Jamsko down in 10th place. Jackie is starting in 11th, and the Prema of Skoda down in 12th. Cars are taking their position on the grid up at the front. Still a couple rounding the final corners. This time round, we will be trying to jump on board with Leslie the moment that the race starts. He is down in 5th place, and one of the drivers that has a very good record of starting so far. The game, once again, does not want to let me pause the intro theme. Red lights are coming on. 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go, jumping on board with Leslie. And indeed, getting a very good start already, having a look to the left-hand side of the circuit, trying to get past Broughton, round the outside line. Somewhere on that inside as well is going to be Bayliss, has to hang it out in 4th place, having a look into 3rd, doesn't even get it yet. Caution flag behind Sector 1, that's going to be Bayliss and Skoda getting together, already in the background, not able to catch that. Those two able to get going, unsure of any damages. Fishy off to an early quick lead. Geordie running wide off the road, has to let off to avoid taking any other car out. That's going to let Hales get up to 5th place. And already trying to ensure the hierarchy of Leslie, jumping on board with him. Going to be getting into the slipstream. No DRS for the first 2 laps. I've forgotten to take off the formation lap banner, and I've got the wrong one as well. We'll just pretend that that never appeared on screen. Having a look to the outside line as header braking gets ahead, gets the move done, up to 4th place for Joseph off of the start. Alfie having a look at keeping 2nd place against Broughton. Bollard already getting knocked over at the start. Things are a little bit calmer. We'll jump down to the back of the grids. One of the car goes heavy into the wall there. I think that was potentially the damage of EGW. We'll have a look whether or not Skoda and Bayliss have any damage. Cars rocketing to distance. No damage for either of those 2 cars that I can visibly see. Move back up to the front. Catch a look at Broughton, having a look around the outside. 17 against Alfie. Will he get it done? Has to go very wide. Might have just touched the wall there a little bit. Has to settle still for 3rd place. Up into 4th now is Rosenquist somehow. Getting past both Leslie and Joseph. 142.866 is the standing fastest lap. That doesn't get counted, and it will be going faster by the end of the race. Lots of lockups into turn 1, where a number of drivers into the back of the VAR goes Joseph. Top 3, however, already running away. On board with Joseph getting very much down the inside, but loses the back end of that car. A little bit of contact there into the side of Rosenquist. That looked a little bit laggy as well, potentially a couple of server problems coming into play there. Jamsko having a look to the inside of Van Amersfoort car. He's going to have the better line into the corner, but will he be able to get the move done? He has to keep the brakes and not a braking tilt, but he does lock up, runs to the side a little bit, and gets spun round. Immediate reset onto the track, and a lot of jumping around from the cars that get past him there. We'll take a look at the replay between Joseph and Rosenquist. Joseph gets the inside line, we jump over to the car, and that car just seems to wash out wide. Very weird contact there, not entirely sure at all what happened. Running wide though, as we come back to the live pictures, it's brought into the final corner. That might let Alfie get past, and it does. Up into 2nd place, returns the MP Motorsport car. 148.39 is the first fast lap of the race that we get from Fishy. Keep an eye on these intervals as they do widen out just a little bit. We'll jump down here though. These 2 cars are going side by side. Taking a look, EGW and Champsco for the final points betting positions. Up to 9th place goes the Downs car. 10th place having to settle is Champsco. Running wide off the track, trying to get that car turned in. Doesn't seem to be wanting to turn in as behind Skoda or frame of Skoda spins. Not sure what happened there. Lagging backwards is EGW. Look to have a bit of a swerve across the track as well. We'll have to keep an eye of what goes on down the field. We'll move back up to our battle for the podium positions between Alfie and Broughton. Hard into the wall there goes, I think that was the car of Leslie in the background. might be causing a bit of tire damage to that rear of the car, potentially to other bits of bodywork as well. You don't want to be doing that too many times, but it is slightly better than breaking off the front wing at that corner. Of course, you don't want to be damaging any of the car at all through there. Bayless moving up to 7th place past Rosenquist, who we have lost behind the wall. That car emerges with a broken front end plate. Be very curious to see what happens there. Walking into turn 1, having a look at the long way round against the Toyota livery car, doesn't get it done. Bayless moving up to 6th place, getting past Joseph very easily, pass under the DRS. We did just come and move over to it as it happened. Number of cars seem to be spreading out a lot quicker this time by, which is kind of a good thing for me. Lets me rest my voice just a little bit extra. Closest 2 cars on track right now is going to be between 6th and 7th of Bayless and Joseph. Having looked to the outside, the left-hand side of the circuit, possibly getting a little bit together there. Bayless is going to lose his position likely due to the DRS assistance of that AIX car. He's going to be on the inside line as well. He's going to have the better entrance onto the corner. Whether or not he'll be able to keep it with the exit is another story. 140.428 to Alfie's new fast lap of the race, and into the pits goes Joseph for an early stop. From the super softs onto the mediums, eventually getting a little bit caught up at the end, and just gets in front of the other car is Broughton. Means Broughton's the other car to go in. And Skoda, a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And once again gets caught just a little bit trying to exit the pits. Coming back up to the front of the grid. Times are closing between Alfie and Fishy. The MP Motorsport driver trying to get up, and a big speed advantage with that DRS, but has to brake a bit earlier due to that higher speed. Quite unsteady there from Fishy through the corners, keeping it under control. These cars are a bit slidey from what I have heard from a couple of drivers. As we see, the rear end just stepping a little bit loose for the MP car behind. Wing opening, and that gap is going to start seriously coming down, moving to the outside. Left-hand side of the circuit, easily gets the pass done, will be heading to the corner, will hold the inside line, but that will compromise his exit speed. Fishy having a look, trying to get back in first place, does get up, positioned back. Watching out in sector 2, 10-second penalty for Geordie speeding in pit lane. That looks to be the car of Joseph having a very poor outlap. Doesn't seem to be any broken wing. Champs go a 10-second penalty for speeding in pit lane as well. All the drivers struggling to get these cars stopped and get through a successful pit cycle. No close battles on track at this current time, except for these two up the front. Once again, Alfie with the DRS will have a lot of speed, has a bit of a wobble potentially, and backs out of trying to make it work. Bit of a lock there from Fishy ahead. Once again, as was prevalent in the sprint, these two need to be wary of how much they battle, because they might just invite Leslie into this fight up at the front. We can also see, off in the distance there, is the Invicta of Bayless as well. Interestingly, no DRS open there that I seen from Alfie, but of course wasn't entirely looking that time round. Neither driver going to the pit lane just yet. Keep an eye on this interval. We'll jump back down now to Joseph. He's getting close to Champsco, as well as Broad is getting very close to the back of HW. DRS open. He's going to go for a move to the right hand side of the track. Easy pass under DRS for that one. Might be the same story a bit further back. Champsco not close enough to get any help from the rear wing opening. And Joseph is going to be hunting that car down. We can see the time already come down, 1:40.019 from Broughton. Time's getting ever closer to breaking under the 40 seconds. A little bit of a wobble through the corner there for the AIX driver. Not what he wants if he's trying to catch down those in front of him. Both of them do have those 10-second penalties, and that will be very, very nice for Joseph. All he has to do is sit behind them to get that position. Here comes Alfie once again, having a look after DRS to the outside, locking for Fishy. Not enough grip there for Alfie to keep the move on the outside line, but it is going to be there even closer for the next DRS zone. Jump on board, Fishy. Watch from the rear wing as well. They're not going to get any assistance, so you will see though, once they get up to the line, that rear wing now opens for the MP car, and a huge burst of speed coming forwards. Easy pass under DRS, and he'll be able to get back to the ideal line. He'll have to brake a little bit earlier. Fishy doesn't run into the back of him. Not the greatest exit of the corner though there for Alfie, running a little bit wide, and both of them this time round head to the pit lane. Alfie, 10-second penalty for speeding into pit lane, doesn't get it stopped in time. Fishy avoids the penalty. It is now going to be advantage Fishy. Two cars behind also come into the pit lane. That's going to let Rosenquist be the next car on track, who does not come through the pit lane. We'll keep on board and watch them. They're going to inherit the lead of this race. However, I'm still pretty sure they have to go and take a stop. Into second is going to be Broughton. EGW 10-second penalty for speeding in pit lane as well. Into third